They laughed when they said Ida laughed the way people do when they're sure the ending is already written. "Hey, janitor," one of them called out across the training hall, her voice echoing off the steel walls. "How about you spar with us, just for fun?" 10 female commandos stood in a loose semicircle, elite, confident, undefeated in drills that had broken grown men twice their size. Cameras were already rolling. Someone whispered, "This will go viral." And somewhere between the laughter and the clatter of mop buckets, a single dad named Adam quietly set his broom against the wall, unaware that the next few minutes would change his life and Thirsa forever. If you're watching this right now, stay with me until the end, because what happens next isn't about fighting. It's about heart, humility, and the strength no one sees coming. And if stories like this move you, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because you never know when the next ordinary moment will become extraordinary. Adam hadn't planned to be there. He never planned much beyond getting through the day. At dawn he packed his daughter Lily's lunch, a peanut butter sandwich cut into triangles, apple slices with a little lemon so they wouldn't brown out, and walked her to the bus stop before catching 2 trains to the military training facility where he worked nights as a janitor. His hands were rough, his back ached, and his eyes carried the permanent shadow of someone who slept too little and worried too much. His wife had passed 3 years earlier, sudden and merciless, leaving him with the 7-year-old who still reached for her mother in her sleep. Adam cleaned floors that gleamed under fluorescent lights, scrubbed sweat and chalk from training mats, and listened to laughter and commands and discipline echo through halls he was never meant to step into. The commandos knew him only as "Sir, can you get that spill?" or "Hey, mop guy." They respected the work but not the man behind it, not because they were cruel, but because life had taught them to see ranks, uniforms, and strength in visible forms. They didn't know that Adam once wore a uniform too, long ago, before an injury ended his service and life detoured into hospital rooms and bills and grief. They didn't know that after Lily fell asleep each night, he trained quietly in the garage, not to fight the world, but to keep his body strong enough to carry his daughter when she was tired and his spirit steady enough to keep promises. The challenge began as a joke. A camera operator egged it on. A commander raised an eyebrow, half amused, half curious. Adam tried to decline. He smiled, embarrassed, and shook his head. "I've got floors to finish," he said softly. But the room buzzed, and the moment grew teeth. "Come on," someone said. 10 rounds, light sparring. "We won't hurt you." Adam looked at the mats, at the 10 women standing tall, eyes bright with competitive fire, and then he thought of Lily, of the way she asked him every night if he was brave. He sighed, took off his jacket, and stepped forward, not to prove anything, but because sometimes dignity means meeting the moment without anger. The first round started fast. The commandos moved with precision, testing distance, throwing controlled strikes meant to overwhelm. Adam didn't charge. He didn't show off. He moved like water, stepping just out of reach, redirecting momentum, hands open, calm. The laughter died down. A few brows furrowed. He wasn't stronger than them, not faster either, but he was present in a way that surprised everyone. He absorbed the rhythm, read intent, and responded with restraint. When someone stumbled, he steadied her. When a strike came too close, he deflected it with care, never striking back hard enough to bruise pride or skin. By the 3rd round, the room was silent. The cameras kept rolling, but the tone had changed. This wasn't spectacle anymore. It was respect being negotiated in real time. The commandos adjusted, increased pressure, coordinated, Adam adapted, breathing slow, eyes kind. Between rounds, one of them asked quietly, "Where did you learn that?" He smiled, thinking of nights in the garage, of old mentors, of lessons about control, life, he said, and love. The real challenge came when exhaustion set in. Not physical. Adam knew fatigue, but emotional. Whispers crept in. Who was he to be here? Was he embarrassing them? Was he embarrassing himself? He remembered Lily's drawing taped to the fridge. A stick-figure family, 3 of them, even though there were only 2 left. He remembered his promise to show her that strength wasn't about winning, but about standing up gently. When the final round began, the commandos moved as one, a coordinated wave of skill. Adam met them with humility. He yielded ground, redirected force, and when the moment called for it, He took a knee, signaling the end. No victory pose, no triumph, just a quiet bow. The room erupted not in laughter, but in applause. The commander stepped forward, eyes shining with something like pride. "That wasn't for fun," she said. "That was a lesson." One by one, the commandos approached Adam, offering hands, nods, respect earned not by domination, but by character. Cameras captured it all. The janitor who didn't fight to win, but to teach without words. Afterward, someone asked him to speak. Adam hesitated, then looked straight into the lens, thinking of Lily and of everyone watching who felt invisible. "You don't know what someone carries," he said. "Be kind, train hard, and remember that strength shows up in many uniforms." He picked up his broom and went back to work. Floors still needed cleaning. Life still needed living. The video went viral. Messages poured in. Opportunities followed. The offers to teach, to train, to tell his story. Adam chose carefully. He took a part-time instructor role, enough to ease the nights, enough to be home for dinner. The commandos invited him back, not as a joke, but as a mentor. Lily watched the video at school, beaming, telling anyone who listened, "That's my dad." And if you're still here, if this story touched something in you, remember this: the world will often underestimate the quiet ones, the tired ones, the people sweeping up after the noise. But courage isn't loud, and miracles don't always announce themselves. Sometimes they show up with a broom, a promise to a child, and the grace to turn a joke into a moment that lifts everyone higher. Like the video if you believe in unseen strength. Subscribe if you want more stories that remind us who we can be. And carry this with you: the strongest move you'll ever make might be kindness, delivered with steady hands and an open heart.